So your business storytelling has to have certain steps. First question is you've got to start off with once upon a time. So you've got to put the scene. In once upon a time, you had a client or a client with a problem, most likely. And remember, in this, you're not the hero, you're the mentor. I should have mentioned that earlier. Anyway, moving on. So then you introduce the hero who's got a core wound. What's a core wound? Well, they're really good at something, but the challenge is they sometimes get it wrong. And they need to be able to step up to be able to be as good as they need to be. Everyone's got a core wound. Mine was a massive imposter syndrome based on color. And that's one of the reasons I moved from the UK to Dubai, and I found that the opportunities came a lot faster. Would I go back to the UK? Possibly, but that's another question. But my core wound has been something that's established and driven me to be who I am. Does that make sense? And if you didn't know that about my core wound, then you'll understand better about who I am and the choices I make and what I do. Then you set up a challenge. What is the fear? What's the problem that your clients had? And then you look at number 4. As the mentor, which is you, what solution did you come up for them to be able to fix it? Then what happened next? Then what went wrong? Something always goes wrong. You think you've calculated, maybe you've opened a restaurant, you've got a party coming in, they're all having the food, love it, but then because of somebody else, they arrived late, or maybe you've got a last minute party that's called you in, or maybe the delivery truck didn't arrive, or maybe you've run out of a certain type of thing because somebody burnt the oven, so you've got to get something from somewhere else, but you worked extra hard to make sure because you've got great suppliers and so on. So you had a solution, and this is how we fixed it. And then finally, this. The client, not the client and you, because that would be creepy, lived happily ever after. When you tell these stories, you are then in a position to be able to share with people what it is that you do. And when they hear that story, they remember it. They don't just think, oh my goodness, that's a story. They turn around and say, that was fantastic. How does that affect me? And they put themselves in that position of the person to work out what it would be that they'd come across in that situation. That's why it's so important to have stories for all your different clients, all your different situations, and you tell them, put them on your marketing everywhere. It puts you as a thought leader.